All right. So today we're going to be looking at podcasts and how we make a podcast. Now, a podcast is an audio bit. This is a screencast, so you can see what I'm doing on the screen of my computer, but the podcast is just going to be sound. So there's a couple of different sites that I'm going to look at in specific. I just signed up for AudioBoo, and you could sign up with your Twitter, but they had a lot of privacy things on there. And they said post tweets for you, which just made me apprehensive. So I signed in by creating a traditional login. And you can see it's pretty easy. I can literally just start recording now. Another one that I haven't signed into yet, though, is the Podomatic. And it made me think about the Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm currently using for my screencast. And whenever you look at these types of programs, and you click on the sign up. There we go. Again, this will have a sign up with Facebook or a sign up with email. And it can be easy to sign in with your Facebook. I'm already logged into Facebook, so it might just go ahead and log me in. Or, yep, there it is. So if it signs you in through Facebook, it's your public profile, friend list, email address. Honestly, my public profile is limited. There's really not much other than my picture that people can see. And I keep my friend list pretty much on lockdown too. So that doesn't actually bother me as much. And this here, right here, does not let the app post to Facebook. That's important to me. With AudioBoo, when they said that they could post, I'm not doing that. So I will sign in with Facebook on this particular app. And again, this is the Podomatic. So as it signs me into Podomatic, has my full name and my email correct, and then you can just understand and join. Tells me that I can follow podcasts I'm interested in and do other things as well. So once I'm here, I can create and share and create a podcast. Pretty easy. And right there, this one here has me selecting the media file if I'm going to upload, which I'm not. On AudioBoo, it also had that as for me as well. I could upload. Let's see here. So it's allowing it. Yes, allow. Yes. Close. Okay. Allow. And allow. So sometimes you have to be careful if you're on, and for whatever reason, AudioBoo is not going to let me log into it. So this might not be what I'm using. Podomatic has been a little bit simpler for me, so this might be my route. Another thing that I use, because I do use a Mac, is I do have GarageBand. I already tried a bit of a pod here, just recording, and it's kind of easy. I can see my wavelength. That also will give me monitors. So like if I click in here, come on. This is the thing. So if I take it back to a certain point, then you can kind of like hear what it might sound like and go from there. That creates the difference in the layers that students have the ability to show. So okay. So GarageBand is cool because you can add the background music if you like to, which adds interest. You can also upload sound effects from Creative Commons and have that to kind of add interest to your podcast. More I find with like the radio show podcasts that they have like the sound effects or so forth. NPR is a fantastic place to go listen to their podcasts because they really have perfected that art of bringing the audio to life with the sound effects. But most of the typical bloggers out there are going to be using sites just like what we have with the online, and they don't allow sound, and that's okay. So let's look at this. If we're going to look at creating something, let's see here. Podomatic says upload, and I do not want to do an upload, but I'm wondering where I can go to create one. So maybe podcasts. That's going to be other people's podcasts, which is not going to help me. Let's see here. So I wonder if Podomatic is more so uploading. Don't think so. Welcome to Podomatic. You have joined. Okay, thank you. Now, where do I create one? So this is something I look for, because if I'm having a difficult time navigating a website or figuring out something, and I'm usually a quick study, I know that my students are also going to have a bit of a harder time too. So right now, whenever I'm not sure like how to start the podcast or go forward, that makes me a little nervous, just because I know students get frustrated, especially when it's new technology, and if you have a class of like 24 to 30 to more, depending on where you teach, that can be frustrating. I could search to maybe make a podcast. Let's see. Audioboo looked like there was the most simple version, but this here is more people making it. Again, I'm not interested in hearing others. I want to make my own. So, okay, let's go back to Audioboo. And Audioboo is AUDIOBOO. Audioboo. So there's just something going on here that is not quite doing what it needs to do for some reason. Excuse me, Texas allergies, I tell you. Okay, enable hardware acceleration. I'm going to allow that, and then that should be fine. Close. Okay, so let's try start recording. All right. It just says, okay, do I want this? No. Allow. Okay, sorry, pop-ups are everywhere, right? Okay, so cool. Audioboo right now has allowed me to just start recording immediately. So that was so easy. I can pause it, I can restart it, I can preview. This might be the way to go, because when I was on Podomatic, I thought, oh, privacy settings, easier to log into Facebook, sure. But I'm having a hard time here figuring out how to make a podcast. So I think that this might be too much, and there's a whole bunch of advertisements. And I can just see students, especially in elementary and upper grades, just clicking, and not doing what they need to do. GarageBand would be fantastic for your advanced students if you have access to Macs or Macintosh. It is not a PC, but there are things like Audacity that you can use on Windows platforms. There's other things too that you can use on your tablets and your phones, but I'm going to go with Audioboo now because of how simple this was. So if you're happy, you just add a title. Look at this, just so nice to set up. And so you could add a title, a description, and hashtags, because we know so many of our kids are on social media, and so they could. Now this would definitely offer a lesson, and be careful what they're putting out on the web, especially if they're hashtagging it to a site that's out of their control and they're not sure how it's going to be used. So that might be something to consider. Again, easy back tabs, very nice. So you add a title and then you can just publish it. Cool. Okay, well that's really not of worth to publish, but let's just go ahead and look at it real fast. So trial, no, not trail. So this is a trial and test run. Okay, category random. Odd, sure. I would agree it's odd. Okay, publish, it saves your post, and then what can you do with it? Let's see. This is really awesome. So no extra advertisements for kids to get distracted on. Super easy to use. It did require an email, So kids would have to have an email to log into this, which is totally fine if you have that within your district. If you don't, you might want to consider talking with your technology people about how you could. A lot of districts are starting to move to Google and Google Mail for independent school districts. So that's pretty fantastic because I know in my previous district, we added every kid had an email. And it was nothing fancy. It was their student ID at the RISD link for gmail.com. So it's pretty nice because it allowed for Google Docs and online discussion and forums. But I would be surprised, honestly. Ask your students because a lot of them are going to have emails already. I've taught 5th grade for the past couple of years, and a lot of my kids had emails. Some of them had emails when their parents didn't have emails, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, so it's taking a second to save, but it seems pretty easy to do. So after a bit of processing, I'll be able to find it here, and I guess it will take a second. So what you do once you have your post, you can then export it or download it and save it to different things or connect it to blogs, which is what I'll do. And then you can go forward like that. Also, what I liked about AudioBoo is that I could choose my name and I could choose the website for my podcast, which I didn't have that option on Podomatic. And SoundCloud I wasn't really impressed with, so I focused more on these two in GarageBand. But once I have it, it shows kind of fun. The kids usually like how that looks. I can embed it into a link. Then there's also a QR code that can be made. This is just fantastic. There's a lot of fun things that can be done to kind of put this up there for the kids. And look at that, I can go back and edit. So even if I published it and realized, oh, those 11 seconds of craziness were just too much, fantastic. You can crop the audio and go re-record. So that's really nice because it gives the kids a second chance and me as well. So I don't just have to have an odd category post of a trial. You can also attach an image, and the image will kind of give a picture of what you're talking about. So if you're talking about like a region or they're using this for a history project, they could have the map attached. Of course, please make sure that the map is cited so we're not infringing on any copyright laws. But how fantastic is that? A whole new level of presentation on maybe a static picture to bring a depth to something. This could be used for art appreciation. This could be used for conversations about pictures and science. I mean, so many pictures spark conversations. So what a fantastic way to maybe even have accountability in table talk. I don't know. The options are kind of endless of how you could present and how formal or informal you want to make your podcast, and what kind of fabric you're weaving in your classroom culture. So consider this site. This is audioboo.com. Right here it's AUDIOBOO, all one word. And it was so easy. And then the boys might bulk up pink, but just let them know it's light red. Other than that, I really hope that you enjoyed this quick screencast, and I think we found a really good one. So go try AudioBoo and see if you like it. Play around with Podomatic and SoundCloud and GarageBand as well, because you might have a different personal tank or preference. But overall, I'd say this is a pretty rockin' site, and I wasn't that impressed with it at first. So there you go. Have a great day, and thank you for taking the time to watch.